this is, it's entitled The Real Spiritual Warfare, but here's the problem. The phrase spiritual warfare never appears in the Bible. Did you ever think about that? It never appears. Spiritual warfare.
Yeah, it just says we war against spiritual.
But it never says spiritual warfare, and yet everybody says it like it's an understood thing, like it's a thing. And we just say it like, there's spiritual warfare. Who says? There's,
the idea is there. That phrase isn't what the idea is.
Well, again, we need to check that. If the phrase is there, if the meaning is there, if the concept exists in the scriptures, what is it? What does it really say?
Well, it's different than what most people think.
So,
but it is there.
Where it starts is in the Torah portion this week, in Ki Tetzeh. So this week is Ki Tetzeh, next week is Ki Tavo. Ki Tetzeh means when you go out. Ki Tavo means the opposite, when you come in. Ki Tetzeh, when you go out, it literally is about, it doesn't say it, but it's literally about going to war. But all it says is when you go out. Why doesn't it say when you go out to war? Because it's assumed, because of the teaching that was behind it. It's not just assumed, like out in the ether. It's assumed because of the teaching that goes along with the scriptures that say it. So what it says in Hebrew at the beginning is Ki Tetzeh Lemilchama. Ki, it actually isn't, it's not if you go out to war or when you go out to war. It's for you go out to war. Ki, which means for. For you go out to war, Lemilchama, to war. On, it literally says al, over your enemies. You go out to war over your enemies. For you go out to war over your enemies. Now there's a whole huge teaching in that we, when we go out to war, we're over our enemies. But I'm not going to give that today because that's not the point of what I want to get across today. But there's a large teaching about that word over your enemies. And God, your God, delivers him into your hands, and you take captive his captives. V'shivita shivyo. Veshavita shivyo. And you captive his captives. Now, who did the fighting so far?
God took them, but we did the fighting to make it real.
God delivered them into your hands.
We didn't do any fighting.
Well, not yet.
No.
No.
Because we're already taking captives. How can we take captives if there's no war? So
God delivered.
God did the fighting, is what the rabbis say. That God actually does the fighting in this kind of warfare. We don't fight at all. Yeah. All we do is take captives. Veshavita shivyo. Veshavita shivyo. And you captive the captives. Verse 11, you see a beautiful woman among the captives, and you desire, that's all it says, and you desire, and take her for yourself as woman. Now I'm translating this as accurately to the Hebrew as I possibly can. I checked every word. You see a beautiful woman among the captives, you desire, you take her for yourself as woman. And then, verse 12, you bring her into your home and shave her head and do her nails. Verse 13, you take off the garment of her captivity. She shall dwell in your house and weep for her father and her mother for a full month. After that, you may go into her and be her husband, and she will be your woman. Now, that's all spiritual stuff that we'll talk about. Then verse 14, it comes down to the physical world and just like deals with reality. But it shall be, if you're not pleased with her, then you shall send her away wherever she wishes. And you certainly shall not sell her for money. You shall not treat her as merchandise because you've humbled her. So that's about the actual woman. You got to deal with the reality, the woman, if you don't want her. But the things that come before that are all spiritual talk. And that's what we're going to look at. When you go out to make war above your enemies, Deuteronomy 20 verse 1. Who are your enemies? Now this is from the Lubavitcher Rabbi, and it is absolutely brilliant. Who are your enemies? confusion, depression, mindless obsessions, and other wild beasts. Where do they live? Inside you.
Ain't that the truth?
I mean, this is just brilliant.
Wow.
Why are you fighting them? Not to destroy them. Because who does the fighting?
God does.
God. We don't do the fighting.
Take him captive.
We take captive, not to destroy them, but to tame them, to take them captive and tame them. This is brilliant.
That's what Shaul said.
Yes, to harness their energies and transform them into trustworthy domesticated creatures. This is amazing. How will you engage them? From above, because it says when you go out and make war above your enemies. And he says, how will you make war? From above. You're not your confusion. Well, because you must know that you're not them. You're not your confusion. You're not your depression. And as madly as those wild beasts may drive you, they're not you. Where are you? You're over them.
Right.
So the beasts are down here. So what do you have to do to take them captive? Pull them up. And that's what he says. You at your very core stand above them in another realm altogether. Believe in your own true self. From there you will be able to pull those beasts upward. Now I don't like those words, believe in your own true self. I think it'd be better to say believe in your Jewish soul, which makes more sense, but you know, whatever. From there you will be able to lift them up. So what's the whole purpose here? The whole purpose is that in real spiritual warfare, we don't fight. We just don't fight. We take captive. And where are these beasts? Inside.
That's great.
It's amazing. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Mind-blowingly accurate.
Yes, it is. So we're going to go back to the beginning, and we're going to pick it apart, and I'm going to try and make sense so that you can see where the Lubavitcher rabbi got this from. First of all, it says, for you go out to war, ki tetzeh. It doesn't say ki titzul, which would be plural, like the whole community. I mean, if you're going to battle, you don't go by yourself. But in this instance, we do. Ki tetzeh, not ki titzul. It's singular. So in other words, God's speaking to each person individually.
Yeah,
When-
they're our own issues.
Yes, they're our own issues. So when we go to war, we're going into us, personally. Now Rashi says Scripture is discussing an optional war. This is not the war to take the land. How do we know it's not the war to take the land? Because it says when you take captives. You don't take captives when we were taking the land. We were supposed to
Wipe them all out.
wipe everybody out, everything that has breath,
Right.
destroy it. So it can't be that kind of war. That's where we do war. This isn't that. This warfare, we don't make war. All we do is take captives. So in this war, it's not the kind where we wipe everybody out to take the land. So it's not about taking the land. That's not this. Number two, the Lord your God delivers them into your hands. In other words, he's the one who does the fighting. In Exodus 15, 2 through 4, you know, we sing this at Passover. This is the Song of the Sea, Shir Hasuf, Shir Hayam, I'm sorry, Shir Hayam, Song of the Sea. And we sing, the Lord is my strength and song, he also has become my Yeshua. This is my God, and I will praise him, my Father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. What's wrong with that sentence?
The Lord's not a man.
Right. The Lord is not a man. But it says, the Lord is a man of war. Because he is. Now in Hebrew it says, Adonai Yehovah Ish Milchama Ish Shemo. Adonai Shemo. I'm sorry. Adonai Ish Milchama Adonai Shemo. The Lord is a man of war. Ish Milchama Adonai Shemo. His name is Adonai. So this is strange. It calls him a man of war. Why? Because he made battle like men. And when God told Israel to go make war and slaughter to take the land, he said, do it like me, like God. So God is a man of war because he made war like men, like humans, like Jews. Pharaoh's chariots and his army he has thrown into the sea. So it's God making the war. That's why he's a man of war. So number one, you go to war personally, but you don't fight. You take captive his captive, the Shavit Shivyo. God does the battle because this is an optional war, not the war to take the land. What's the land? The kingdom, the day. So this is not that. This is not like things that keep us from getting into the kingdom. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. There are things that keep us from getting, understanding, seeing the kingdom. This isn't that. This is something else. Because the war to take the land or take the kingdom, we do slaughter everything mercilessly. But not here. Here we just take captive. So we don't fight, but we reap the benefits of God doing the fighting. But we take captive his captive only. We don't fight. Number two, she is a Gentile. How do we know she's a Gentile that we take captive?
Because she was among the, go back a few slides, and she was among the people.
She was the enemy. She was among the enemy.
Yeah.
The enemy are the Gentiles that we're fighting, so she is a Gentile. And it says she's beautiful. Did it say she was beautiful? Did it say that in the text?
I think it did. I don't know.
You're staring at the screen, but I don't know if you're seeing it. Did it say in the text that she was beautiful?
Woman among the captives.
Yep. You see a beautiful woman among the captives. So she's beautiful. All right? She is a Gentile. She's beautiful. You want her. So up here. She's beautiful. And that desire drives us to take her captive and take her into our house, to make her a woman to us. Now, here's the problem. You who are women, you're like, oh, this doesn't apply to me. But it's a picture, and it applies to everybody. So if you can figure out who the beautiful woman is, you'll figure out how to apply it to you. Remember, Lubavitcher Rabbi said this. He calls them wild beasts, and he says it applies to everybody. But in the passage that we're looking at, she's not seen as a wild beast. She's seen as a beautiful, at least in our eyes, she's a beautiful woman. At least in our eyes. There's the troll. All right, so here's the things that are done. Number one, you take her into her house, into your house. So my question is, wouldn't that pollute the house? She's a Gentile. She's probably eating things sacrificed to idols. She's doing her Gentile ways. So certainly she's unclean. Right. Wouldn't that make your Jewish house unclean?
Not necessarily.
How could you not?
Well,
how could it not?
Because you make her rich. Because it says shave her hair, do her nails.
But before, there's nothing here about a mikvah. There's nothing here about a mikvah. What's done is you shave her head, you do her nails, which we'll talk about. You remove the clothes of her captivity. But when she comes into the house initially, wouldn't it make the house unclean because she's unclean from idolatry? From Avodah Zarah?
Probably.
Absolutely. There's no way around it. Yeah. There's literally no way around it. She doesn't know Judaism. She doesn't live like a Jew. She's not keeping Judaism, so she is unclean. And she comes in your house, and she's now made your Jewish house unclean. So that's a given. That part is a given. But in our eyes, she's beautiful. And we're highly attracted to this woman. Number two, you shave her head. This makes her ugly. It removes her beauty from her. That's what the sages say, that her hair is her beauty. That's how women is, Women are usually like that. That God gave them long hair, and that's called their beauty. And so she's come in, she's unclean. Then you shave her head, you make her ugly, take her beauty away. But you thought she was beautiful, and now you're taking her beauty away? That's kind of weird. And then do her nails. This means one of two things. Either she pared them down to nubs, which is not attractive, or she lets them grow long like eagle talons, and they're wild and unkempt, and that's further making her ugly. So this is also making her ugly. So she comes in beautiful but unclean, and now you're making her ugly. Number 4, she shall remove the clothes of her captivity. When a lot of people read this, they think it's like slave clothes, but we know it's not, because two instances in the scriptures, the Gentile women were used to captivate the Jewish men because of their beauty. What were the 2 instances? What were the 2 instances where the Gentile women were used to captivate and capture and destroy the Jewish men?
What's up?
One of them were Midianite women.
Say that again?
One of them were Midianite.
Yes, the Midianite women. Who set that up?
I don't remember.
Balaam set up the Midianite and Moabite women to captivate. And how many Jews died? 24,000 were killed because of it. What was the other instance? You don't remember? You don't remember?
Well, the story of Delilah and
Samson?
Yeah, you could say Shimshon and Deliliahu. So, so we could say that. Anyway, what the sages say is that the Gentile women would dress up beautifully to entice the enemy. And that was one of their tactics. So it's not like slave clothes, it's not like rags. Let her put off her rags and get her nails done beautifully. That's not what it is. It's making her ugly over and over and over again. Shaving her head, paring down her nails, or letting them grow out nasty, and then removing her beautiful clothes. And then the worst one, 5, dwell in your house and mourn for her parents for a full month. And the rabbis say she's supposed to be by the front door. Why? Why do you think that is? Stick her by the front door. What do you think?
So everybody can hear her?
Yeah? So everybody can hear her? What else? You got to go out and in the front door, don't you? And she's right there by the front door. Ah, wailing for her mommy and her daddy and her idolatry and her festivals or holidays or idolatrous holidays and all of her pagan ways, and she's mourning her mom and dad right by the door that you have to go out and come back in. And this is what you see all day for a month. So why do you think the rabbis interpreted this as the whole point is to make her ugly? Why?
Because she was the enemies. She was, we're not supposed to look at those ways as beautiful.
Right? But we wanted it. We wanted
To
it.
reveal the man's lust.
It's not men's. Remember, this applies to everyone. She is not a female. She's what Lubavitcher Rabbi called her a beast.
Those character traits.
The character traits that we have inside of us.
that we
But the
love so
problem is
much.
we think that we love so much. But we think they're good. But they're not.
Perspective.
We have to correct our perspective, and we have to make them ugly, because they're not ugly to us. They're beautiful to us. So this is a hard thing to do, because what began as a beautiful woman that we thought was so hot, so attractive, she's taken off her hair and her nails and her beautiful clothes, and you're stuck in the house with her, listening to her mourn for her mommy and her daddy and her gods and her Gentile ways, and there's no escape from what we thought was so beautiful is now like so irritating and so ugly and so loud, and we can't get away from it and we can't escape it. And it's unclean in our house. So, now I'm going to say this is about, quote, spiritual warfare, even though the phrase spiritual warfare never appears in the Bible. And here's why it never appears in the Bible, because there's no such thing as spiritual warfare. It just doesn't even exist. There's two kinds of war. There's getting rid of things that keeps us from seeing and apprehending and understanding the kingdom and getting into the kingdom. But that's not this. This is going inside of us to make war on the things that we need to make war on, but we got to make them ugly first. And we have to take them captive. We have to take them captive. So if you go out to war, this verse here is referring to an optional war. It's not obligatory. It's our own choice. It would be inappropriate to say, and you take his captives, because it's already been stated regarding the 7 nations of Canaan, you shall not allow any soul to live. So we know that this is a war of choice. It's a battle of choice. Fighting forces that keep us from getting the land, the kingdom, that would be plural, ki titzul, when you go out to war as a people, together.
This is kind of like keeping kosher and looking at stuff and having that choice to be disgusted by it. Having that choice to see it, like some people see that as food, and we choose to see it as a cockroach or whatever.
Right. We choose to see the things that are unclean to us as unclean to us, as ugly to us. Right. All right. So, obviously, getting into the day of the Lord, the day of rest, you should know Hebrews 3 and 4 by now. You should know it very, very well. That the land is not really the land is a picture of the day of the Lord. But that's not this. This is different. Warfare in which we don't fight it's just kind of weird. It's a warfare in which we don't even fight. I mean, think about what I'm saying. People say, let's do spiritual warfare. And they start, it's always loud, and it's always taking from here and there and the other, and you don't know if it's appropriate, you don't know if the prayers are right, and you don't know if the people are saying it right. You just don't know anything, because people say whatever they've been taught. But is it really spiritual warfare? And so what I am saying is, real spiritual warfare, we don't even fight. All we do is take something captive. But when people are doing what's called spiritual warfare, they're not taking anything captive. They're just like, we need to fight, so let's fight. Let's be loud, let's fight. Loud words. But there's no sense of taking anything captive. Okay. In this picture, this is Assyria taking captives. They've already won the war or battle, I suppose. I don't know. I don't care. But they're taking captives. And they're leading them wherever they want to lead them. They are in control of those captives. And that's what I want you to get from this. Rabbi Anova says all the time, I take control. I'm in control. And I used to think, God, that does not sound right. But it is so right. We are supposed to be in control of ourselves. I mean, and just to say, oh, that's self-control. That's way too shallow for this. You have to be able to control the captive and lead it where you want and make it do what you want. Everything you say goes. But that's a hard thing to achieve. Now, during Elul, that's what we're supposed to be achieving. I started talking about it last week. This is how Romans take captives. This is from the rape of the Sabine women, which is a very, very famous story. I don't know why it's so famous. I don't know why there's so much artwork been done about it, but there's always this same image of a guy holding a big woman, and it's called the rape of the Sabine, but it doesn't mean rape. It means taking captive. These women that were called Sabine, S-A-B-I-N-E. I don't know why it's a big deal, but it's not done like this. That's not how you take captive. You take captive like this. You hog tie them. You get them on the ground. You get them in control. You hog tie them. You take them back to your house. And if you're not in control of that captive is not going to do what you say you want done. And that's the whole purpose of this. Okay. I'm trying to look at, I wrote out a script for the radio for this Torah portion, Ki Tetzeh, and there were some parts that I really liked the way I said it. Okay, I'll get there. All right, so here's the whole thing, is we have to take control of that beast, that beautiful woman that we thought was so beautiful inside of us. We have to take control. Now the rabbis call it an inner warfare. Inner warfare. And if you go to any congregation and you say, let's do spiritual warfare, not a single person thinks, oh, I need to make war on myself. Inside. I don't know anybody who does that or thinks that. If corporately they say let's do spiritual warfare, but that's what spiritual warfare is. It's an inner warfare, and it's done by cheshbon hanefesh. Now, cheshbon, it means a bill, an accounting. It's the same word like if you go to a restaurant in Israel. It's the same word that you say. You say, letavot ha-cheshbon. Bring to me, or make come to me the bill. And it's a cheshbon. It's an accounting. It's the bill. I want to read how I wrote this part here. This is Ki Tetzeh. This is Ki Tetzeh. This is a battle that we do not undertake. All we do is take a captive. We take a beautiful pagan woman who we are highly attracted to. We take her captive, we shave her, we strip her, we make her ugly and revolting to ourselves. And we take this container of paganism, this worshiper of other gods, this follower of demons, an eater of disgusting things sacrificed to those demons, this seductive, lying idol worshiper, into our clean, pure Jewish house. A house dedicated to the God of Israel, a house that is Jewish in as many aspects as we can manage. We introduce this wailing, ugly troll, this distracting, wailing, sad woman into our home. Why? Because we wanted her. That's the bottom line. Because we wanted her. Now, what I would say is pick one or two midot only. We're going to talk about a lot of midot. I'm not going to read all of them or look at all of them, but I just want you to see that there's a lot of midot. And I think that this pinpoints one of the main differences between Hellenistic Christianity and Judaism, is that in Hellenistic Christianity, the constant focus on sin. Sin. Did you sin? It's a sin. I said this. I did that. It's sin. And then what's the answer? Well, it's under the blood. Okay, done. Jews don't focus on sin, we focus on our attributes. These are not sins. They're not sins. They're attributes. And it's a huge difference. The sages say a man's evil inclination, or Yetzer Hara, threatens every day to overpower him. That's in Talmud Sukkah 52b. And every day our evil inclination is working to overpower us, to defeat us, to break us. Are we supposed to fight it? Are we supposed to fight the Yetzer Hara?
No, you're supposed to take it captive.
Right. We're not supposed to fight it. We're supposed to take it captive. We're supposed to own it. Make it captive. Make it do what we say. I'm in control. That's what Rabbi Anava means when he says, I'm in control. I've taken my Yetzer Hara captive. God does the fighting on the inside of us, and we take the evil inclination captive. That is the personal inner warfare. We're supposed to take it captive, not fight it. Not fight the evil inclination. Which, before I did this teaching, I didn't know that. I thought we were supposed to fight the evil inclination. One way to do that, I knew, was to make our evil inclination worship God, serve God. I knew that. But what I didn't know was we're not supposed to fight it. We're supposed to take it captive. Not fight it. God will fight it.
Fighting is futile.
It is futile. Because all day, every day, it threatens to overpower and destroy us. All day, every day. We're not going to beat it. The evil inclination is the pagan, the beautiful Gentile who loves her past and her family and her culture and her holidays and her lifestyle that has absolutely nothing to do with God's ways, his path or his derech. And we wanted her so bad. Now, like I said earlier, what people do is they'll focus on sin, not on our midot. And then their only answer is to say, it's under the blood. And so Jesus fought the battle. He's won. We don't have to do anything. Just believe. Just have faith. Problem with that is, then the Yetzer Hara is free to do whatever it wants all day long. Because you didn't take it captive. All you said was, it's under the blood. Okay. That didn't take it captive. So this is a real problem. We have to find a way to take it captive. The Yetzer Hara. The way to do it... Oh wait, I want to read one more thing. The way we do it is Cheshbon HaNefesh. And there's certain times during the year when this is what Jews do. Right now, during Elul is one of them. Cheshbon HaNefesh, making an accounting of the soul, searching or making an accounting of the soul. And during Elul we do this. It's baked into Elul. It's also baked into, what's the other time during the year that it's baked into? Rosh Hashanah. And what?
During the time of Bedikah Hametz, what day we're
during Bedikah Hametz, yeah. Actually it's a whole 10 days of awe. And then one other time. Counting
Counting the Omer?
Counting of the Omer. So during these times, Heshbon HaNefesh is baked in, but right now, it's like the real focus. This is when it's really focused on. Many Jews rip themselves open to examine every corner of their heart, and then they actually do something about it. And God gave us this by baking it into this time of the year. But if you throw away the Jewish biblical cycle and introduce and follow your own pagan cycle, and holidays throughout the year, not in accordance with God's cycle, it's no wonder that believers are untrained in how to search their heart and how to then make good, solid, dependable, what do you think the last word is?
Choices.
Changes. Yeah, tikkun is to repair, right? It's to change. Problem is, we do it too when we're in that cycle. We try to make changes, but they don't stick. They don't stick because in some way or another, we're not taking it captive. We're not owning it. We're not being responsible for it and say, okay, I own that. That's me. I wanted that. She's gorgeous to me. I wanted her. So I took her. And that's the whole bottom line. That's how you do it. Ratzon, an act of the want, the desire, the will. And most people don't do that. they'll fudge, they'll hem and haw. Yeah, well, yeah, okay, but he, but she, but God, but this, but that, and circumstances, and there's a lot happening right now. None of that makes any difference. All that matters is I wanted her, so I took her into my house. Yes?
In Jude, it says, basically it's like this warfare that's going on, okay? And it says, even Michael, the archangel, when he was disputing with the devil about the body of Moses, did not himself dare to condemn him for slander. The Lord, he said, the Lord rebuke you.
Right.
What I was thinking was...
Wait, let me get that much on tape. The only mic we have is this, right here. In Jude, verse 14.
1:9, verse 1. Chapter 1. Verse
There's only
9.
one chapter. What verse?
Verse 9.
Verse 9, not 14. It says that even Michael, the angel, did not give a railing rebuke against Hasatan, but said, the Lord rebuke you, Hasatan.
And the point being that God is doing the battle.
God is doing the battle.
Michael, archangel, knew his boundaries of what he could and couldn't do.
Right. Even Michael didn't cross the boundaries of trying to make war, trying to battle Hasatan, or the evil inclination. But he said, the Lord rebuke you. So God does the battle. Very good. All right, I'm going to say this again. If we do cheshbon hanefesh, and we search our soul well, what we find there are not demons. What do we find?
Bad attributes. We don't.
Bad attributes, things that we want, things we wanted. And they're not battles either. We don't find battles. We don't find stuff to fight. God does the fighting. We don't find battles and we don't find demons. So what we find are desires, and we find midot, measurements, attributes. So, there's many different kinds of people and many different kinds of attributes. I'm going to read the way I put it. One person may not be able to sit in front of a plate of cookies without finishing them off. One person loves the rush that they get when they steal. One person cannot live without porn or another person to have sex with. One person loves the way making money feels and loves the power and control that comes with it. And the list is endless of the beautiful Gentile pagan temptresses that we want so badly. These are our midot. One person is incredibly giving and would give everything away if they were asked to, and one is stingy beyond belief, hoarding and watching every penny. One person cannot be alone and joins into every group and ism and belief and cult, and another wants to live like a lone wolf in a cave and have no contact with others. So my question is, are these bad? Are these bad things? Are they bad?
They can be.
I'm not saying can they be. I'm saying, are they bad?
Yes.
These things that I just said.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. They are not. Who gave us our midot?
God.
But they're bad?
In and of themselves, no.
That's what I'm asking.
How they're used, yes.
Okay. So the trick is, well, let's talk about stingy and giving. Like it's like a fulcrum, like a pendulum. Like on one end of the pendulum is somebody who's incredibly giving. One end, somebody has an evil eye and they're very, very, very stingy. They count every penny and they're mean about it. Well, God made the people like that. God made one person as very giving, and God made the other person as very stingy. Problem is, they're out of balance. And that's it. So the trick is to try to move from one side of the fulcrum toward the center. And that's all. That's it. How do we do that? By taking it captive. How do we take it captive? By doing cheshbon hanefesh. Yes?
What I'm thinking is, it's kind of like klipot, where you're seeing the outside, that it looked like a beautiful thing, that outside covering, but then when you break open that covering and you look inside, there's that, there can be some good, but there's some bad, that bad attribute, that Yetzer Hara that is that is encased in that klipot.
What, you just said two things. You said bad attribute, and then you said Yetzer Hara.
Because in everything there is a Yetzer Tov and a Yetzer
Yes,
Hara.
but not in the midot. The midot are separate from the Yetzer Hara and the Yetzer Tov.
Right.
Because it means, Yetzer means to squish, like when you get clay and you squish it into a mold, that's Yetzer. It means to squish into a shape. That's what Yetzer. So it can be anything. It can be good, it can be bad. It doesn't matter. It's like a moldable thing. Our midot are not that. Our midot are measurements. A midah is a measurement. In other words, you were given 13 ounces of anger. I was given 2 pounds of anger. They're literal measurements. That's not the Yetzer Hara or Yetzer HaTov. That's different. So what I'm going to ask is, the woman that we take captive, is she beautiful or ugly?
Beautiful.
Is she beautiful or ugly?
Beautiful.
Just answer. It's a simple question.
She's beautiful.
No, she answered. What do you think? Is she beautiful or ugly? The woman that we take captive in battle. We didn't do the battle, but we see her and is she beautiful?
We see her as beautiful.
Okay, we see her as beautiful. She's beautiful. Then we take her into our house, and what do?
Make her ugly.
Make her, by an act of our will, ugly. 4 different ways ugly. Ugly, 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 ugly. And the more ugly we make her, the more we might say, I want to divorce you. I don't want you in my house. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. Hold on. That's why that verse is tacked on the end. Here. But it shall be, if you're not pleased with her, then you shall send her away wherever she wants. You shall not sell her for money, because you can't treat her like merchandise, because you humbled her. You're the one who humbled her. You're the one who made her ugly. She wasn't ugly to begin with. She was beautiful. And now you made her all ugly, and you took her from her parents, and you made her sad, and now she's supposed to leave your house and go wherever, God knows where, and you're happy now. That's why this is on the end. The rabbis say, if you bring an idolater into your house, she will turn you to idolatry. There's no way around it. So she stays in the house as a potential convert or a convert, one of the two. If you do a good job and you can put up with a month of that, then you can turn her to Judaism. If you can't put up with it and you can't do it, get her out of the house. Just get rid of her entirely. But you got to treat her well. Yes.
So is the woman beautiful because she's supposed to tempt you, and then what happens is you make her ugly because you're trying to get rid of that temptation?
It's not about temptation. We wanted her.
Yeah.
We wanted her. Whether she was tempting or not tempting, I wanted her. It's that simple. I thought she was beautiful. I love to steal. I love getting angry. I love being right. I love it. It tastes so good. It's beautiful to me. It's gorgeous. So I got to make it ugly. Because I like it. I like it. I want it. And that's the whole trick. This leaves no room to say a bunch of things. You can't say it's under the blood, because it's not. It's our attributes, right? It's not sin. You can't say the devil made me do it, whatever we do. Can you? You can't say a demon made me do it. I did it because I wanted to do it. So it takes away all the excuses that keep us from being responsible about our own actions. And then we take responsibility and we look at our midot, and then we deal with it or we don't deal with it. It's up to us. Our bent, our midot, our attributes, our propensities are not the devil. They are us. And we have to stop. Listen to what I'm going to say here, because this goes on constantly. And it's not good. We have to find a way to stop demonizing people's attributes. Now, I'm not saying you do it. I mean, we all do it. But lately, I'm very sensitized to it, and I don't like it at all. We have to stop. We have to find a way to stop demonizing people's attributes, because it's not the devil, and it's not sin. It's an attribute. And look inward at ourselves to try to take one or two attributes captive. Wrestle it to the ground, bind it, and gag it, and hog tie it, and carry it captive into our home. And that's what I was trying to say with this. All right. Now, this is done by, this is some crazy journals I found. I've started writing down my sins during the day, during Elul, doing Cheshbon Nefesh. But the problem is, I'm with a whole bunch of people in there, and if they see what I wrote, they're going to think I'm absolutely insane. Like, you know, like in the movies where they write microscopic 100,000 pages and they put it in a library and it's all their thoughts, their meandering thoughts. Well, it's kind of like that. So if you want to write them down, you can. But you got to be careful how you do it, because you have to take responsibility. I thought this, I wanted this, this is why I wanted it, this is what I felt. And don't demonize anybody. Don't put any responsibility on anybody else. Just leave it on ourselves. So the inner warfare is done by doing Cheshbon Nefesh. God made our midot, but I think, I may be wrong, but I think that when we're born, our midot are balanced. I mean, God gave us our midot, but I think they're balanced when we're born, I think. And then we get them all out of whack and make them unbalanced. So what we have to do is bring them back into balance. This is by musar, or discipline, or correction. Wait, let me say one more thing about journaling. Like, a lot of people, you can find a million different things on the internet about journaling, but I couldn't find any of them that say list how many times you lied in the day. You know, I mean, who's going to do that? List how many times you lusted today. List how many times you wanted to kill somebody because of what they said, or whatever. But that is making a list and accounting. All right, so this spread throughout all of Russia and Lithuania and Poland and the Ukraine. Wherever the Jews were, there were hundreds of thousands, perhaps more than 1 million, I don't know, but I know hundreds of thousands of Jews who were doing this practice of musar, discipline, correction. They were doing it as a practice. Many, many different ways they did it. But it spread, and now you can actually go online and look up Musar Judaism, and they've got a whole practice of how to do it. There are 48 attributes, characteristics, midot. And on Musar Judaism, they list them. And I don't understand half of these. No, I don't understand more than half of these. But there's a few I want to look at. Awe, yirah. Do you know who the character in the Bible was who had more respect and awe of his parents than anybody else in the Bible? Anybody know?
Was it Yaakov?
No, it wasn't Yaakov. Very good. Esav, Jacob's brother. Esav, the evil. He was like the perfect example of somebody who had a lot of respect for his parents. Isn't that strange? So he had that midah, but unfortunately, he didn't turn it toward God. So there's a lot here that I don't quite understand. Like number 3, beauty. this has no opposite. I mean, it's not an American beauty. The opposite would be ugly. It's not this. Tiferet is very different. Tiferet means splendor. Like, what's the opposite of splendor? Rotting? I don't know. So there's a few of these that don't have an opposite. But what you need to know is that midan keneged midan, everything is measure for measure. Everything has its opposite in Judaism. So if you're on this scale of joy and depression, joy is on one side and despair and depression is on the other, and you're trying to move toward this one over here, joy, you're going to its opposite, right? How do you do that? You write down when you're in despair. You write it down. You take note of it. You do cheshbon hanefesh. You capture it and you make it ugly. And you look at it as ugly, and that will force you to go to the other side, toward joy. Some of these don't have an opposite that I can find, like beauty. There's a couple others I can't remember. We'll find out what they are in a minute. But some of these I cannot find its opposite. A bunch of these I found the opposite for. Do you have any questions about any of these? Look at number 41. Serenity. Menucha, that's the kingdom. Menucha is the day of rest. Rest is menucha.
And so just God, he just assigns us some of the midot.
Yes, a measure of every one of these, I suppose.
Yeah,
I guess.
We all have all of those.
I would think so.
Degrees.
I would think
Some
so.
of them we have more of, and some we have less of.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if that's true, then there has to be an opposite to them.
Yeah.
I couldn't find all the opposites, but I found a lot. And you know what I did? I looked at the list, like look at number 32, modesty, tzniut, and I tried to think it out, like what would be the opposite, and I got about 60% right. The other ones I was way off. So look at where did it go?
Are these the opposites?
Yeah, these are the opposites. Where did it go? Modesty, 32. Look at 32. The opposite is looseness. Hefkerut. You're too loose. Look at number 9. Rudeness, inconsiderate, gasut. What is that the opposite to? Do you remember? What's the opposite of rude?
Polite.
See, that's what we think in America. Number 9, consideration.
Oh, wow.
Adivut. So, obviously we don't know these. We don't know the attributes. Because the way we think is totally different. What do you think? Look at number...
Wouldn't the opposite of 26 be injustice?
26. You think so, right? It's not. It's not, because it's tzedek. It's not mishpat. Mishpat is justice or judge or, like a court.
Right.
But tzedek isn't that. What does tzedek mean? Righteous. What's the opposite of righteous?
Unrighteous.
You can't just say unrighteous. So like if you look up the opposite, it'll say it's a combination of these 4 different midot. So a lot of times it's hard to determine just the opposite. And I didn't look up like a list of opposites.
Okay.
Look at number 11. Courage, ometz lev, courage, strength of heart. Ometz is like strength, or not strength, but like courage, like lion-hearted. Okay, what do you think the opposite of courage is?
Fear.
That's what I thought. Fear. Would you? Timidity, yeah. I thought it was that. Let's see. Courage, 11. Sloth,
Huh, wow.
cowardly, is cowardly.
I can see cowardly, yeah.
Atzlut,
That's sloth. Huh.
sloth.
Yeah.
Look at number 18. Nedivut, generosity. Do you know what the opposite of that is? Say it louder.
Being stinginess.
Stinginess, right? That's what I thought.
Selfish.
Selfish, stingy. All right, 18, generosity. Greed, hamadanut. Very specific, hamadanut. Greed. And 19, bad eye, ayin hara, which is also stinginess. Look what the opposite of 19 is. Goodwill,
Sure.
ratzon. I mean, that sort of confuses me. That makes sense to you?
Yeah. To me.
To me, it confuses. All right, look at 45, truth. What's the opposite of truth?
Lying.
Sheker,
Yeah.
lie, 45.
Low.
Yeah, sheker, lying. Got that one right. Look, there. I couldn't find an opposite to understanding. Bina, number 46.
Could it be
46.
ignorance, maybe?
Confusion.
That's what I thought. I thought it was ignorance, but it's not. It's not, because it's not understanding the way we think of. It's from the 7 bowls in heaven, and so it'll take like 4 different attributes and mush them together. Look at 36. What do you think the opposite of peace is?
Strife.
Strife? What else?
Evil.
Huh?
Evil.
Evil? What do you think, Doug? The opposite of peace.
Islam.
I would have said like turmoil,
Yeah, I was thinking.
Strife.
confusion.
strife, turmoil. All right, what is it? Number 36.
Yeah. Chaos.
Chaos, conflict. Tohu vavohu in Hebrew. From Genesis. That's that attribute. So each midah has an opposite midah. Midah keneged midah. It's actually midan keneged midan, measure for measure, but in this case it's midah keneged midah. It's the same word. So this is what I would say. I'd say let's stick to the basics. Lying, lust. Oh, what's lust? Let's see.
Where was that?
Where's lust?
29.
Number 29, ta'eva. Ta'eva. What's the opposite of lust, you think? Self-control? 29, love.
Love.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
All right, so the basics are arrogance and humility, those opposites. Lying and what's the opposite of lying? Truth or truthfulness. Lust and love. If we can get those 3 in balance a little bit, we'll be doing good.
Yeah.
And that's only 3 out of 48. But that's what I would say, like stick, unless something really, really, like with me, I have to deal with kas. Where's kas? Anger. Where's kas?
I don't see it in there.
Kas. I thought I remembered writing it.
Maybe
Kas.
call it something else.
There it is, number 35. Impatience or anger.
Okay, yeah.
The opposite of patience, savlanut. So that kind of surprised me. I thought the opposite of anger was peace, but it's not. It's patience.
Makes sense.
So,
Well, I do sometimes tend to get angry when I get grossly impatient.
I always do. It's just so, these are the big ones for me. I mean, like kas for me and impatience is just a huge one. And then lust is not so big anymore. And then love and lust. And then lying, that used to be huge. Not as big anymore, but it's still something I got to work on constantly.
Is arrogance on this list?
Yes, yes, it is. Let's see. Where is it? It should be Givurah.
24.
24. Yeah. Oh, Gadlut. It's a different word. It's not Gevurah. Gadlut, which also means big.
So, pride isn't a separate one on there. It would be the same.
It's obviously different. Hold on. Gevurah means might or strength, but it's also pride. 24. Humility, anava, and arrogance, Gadlut. Okay. So these are the big ones for me. Everybody's different, but I would suggest you just pick 2 or 3. Yes.
Is the despair self-pity?
Say it again.
Is despair self-pity?
I think despair and self-pity are different, but I don't remember doing that one. Is it on here?
They're
Because
definitely related.
despair is 23.
23. Despair. Yeush. Hope. Tikva.
Yeah.
That's
Makes
cool.
sense.
Yeah. Self-pity, I don't remember coming across it, but that doesn't mean, I didn't do all of them. See, not all of them have a Hebrew. The ones that have the Hebrew, those are the ones I found.
Oh, okay.
The ones that don't have the Hebrew, I didn't find them
Yeah, I was just
because I ran out of time.
asking because
Yeah.
for me that's something that I've really been
Yes.
working on the past few months.
I would assume that self-pity is one of these, but one that I don't have the Hebrew for.
Yeah, I was asking because you have
Probably related
despair.
to despair more than anything else. I
Yeah,
think.
because I was seeing despair and depression.
Right.
And those are the
They're
two I'm
different,
working on.
and they're different.
Seems like it's more closer to that than anything else.
Yeah.
But then again, I didn't find depression,
Yeah.
the Hebrew. So it might be that. Okay. One last one. Look at number 44.
So what did you have as 25 on the black?
Depression.
Joy.
Okay, yeah.
So it could be despair. I don't know. I didn't find number 25. All right. One last one I want to talk about. I just had it. Oh, I lost it. I lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay, hold on. All right, number 44. You know how we're constantly saying now, Gamzu Latova. This too is for good. That is cultivating, making inside of us the attribute of what?
Being thankful.
Right, thankfulness, which is number 44. What do you think the opposite of that is?
Ungrateful. Being ungrateful.
Ungrateful, thankless, thanklessness. Kafui tova. There's an actual title for it. Kafui tova. To be without good. Tova means good. It doesn't mean thanks.
Yeah.
Although the word thanks and good are related, it's toda. To thank is toda in Hebrew. So I need to check this because it might be kafui toda, but I believe it said kafui tova, to be without good. All right, so just pick a few, whatever you can do. And here's why. Look at this statement in the Avot, in the Mishnah, under Avot. Akavya ben Mahalalel said, "Mark well 3 things and you won't come into the power of sin. Know from where you come, know where you're going, and before whom you are destined to give judgment, deen, and heshbon." Deen and heshbon. From where do you come? From a putrid drop. Where are you going? To a place of dust, of worm, of maggot.
Huh.
Before whom are you destined to give judgment? And heshbon. We're going to give a heshbon to God. That's why this is important. We're going to give an account, a heshbon. So my question is, who writes down the Cheshbon HaNefesh in the judgment? Did we write it or did God write it? And which book is it in? Because a cheshbon is a written account. So, that's why I have this scroll here. In the judgment, there's going to be an actual scroll where there's an cheshbon. We're going to give account for everything. Did, said, thought, felt, motived to do.
Mine's probably bigger than that.
It's going to be a big old scroll. So, when do we look at the scrolls of account? Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. So that's why we do this during Cheshbon, to prepare for the day of the Lord when this is going to be done for real. Because this is going to be done for real. Because we're going to give a Cheshbon to God before the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be He. That's scary. That's terrifying. Does that scare you? That scares me. That doesn't scare you?
Yeah.
That doesn't scare you, Eileen? Does it? That scares the hell out of me. I mean, I wonder how detailed it's going to get. Is it all the motives? Because it says in 1 Chronicles 28:19, it says, Solomon, serve the Lord. Yivdu et Adonai. Serve the Lord, because the Lord searches every thought and every motive of the thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, if he searches all of them, does he write them all down?
Probably.
Ugh. I don't like this.
He does, but we don't, because sometimes we're not aware, either deliberately not aware.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to, we don't.
Yeah, we're not aware.
Look at the tree.
We're not aware because we don't want to go, she's beautiful to me. We want to say, she's an idolater. And why do you want her? And that's the bottom line. If you can get to where you're like, I wanted that, then it makes this a lot easier. And that's really the bottom line.
Interesting that he doesn't say where you're going is the kingdom.
Well, to the Jews, that's a given. You know, we know about that. But thinking about going to the kingdom isn't going to make us do better, is it? It's going to make us do worse, because it's under the blood, and I don't have to care. But if you think about the fact that you're going to worms and maggots and dirt, you might get off, your duff and do the right thing. Maybe it might motivate. So that's the bottom line.
More humble perspective.
It's a much more humble perspective. So this is true spiritual warfare. Not ranting and raving at demons, real or imagined, or manufactured from tradition or custom, or what we were taught to pray, or what scriptures we were taught to quote to chase away the right demon, without specificity, without identification of the real problem, without a clear naming of a spirit by God, not by people. No, real spiritual warfare is not to fight. God, the Ish Milchama, the man of war, does the fighting. But our part is to take captive our attributes. Now, where does it say in the Bible to take captive your whatevers? Where does it say to take you
I
captive?
think Shaul says that in Corinthians.
Very good. It's in 2 Corinthians 10, 3-5. But this has both warfares in it. It has ki tetzeh, individual, and it has ki tetzul, that we're going to the kingdom. We have to fight things that are keeping us from the kingdom. It says, for though we walk in the flesh, we do not wage battle according to the flesh, for the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but powerful through Elohim. So, is this ki tetzeh or ki tetzul? Is this taking captive, or is this fighting? Or is it us fighting? All right, look at it. 2 Corinthians 10, 3-5. Maybe it will help if you look at it.
You think?
10, 3 through 5. Second Corinthians 10, 3 through 5. For though we walk in the flesh, we don't make war according to the flesh, because the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but powerful. There's no such word as divine, by the way. That is a Greek word. So what would it be in Hebrew?
Spirit.
Powerful through God, through Elohim. Not divinely powerful. There's no such word as divine. It's Elohim. The weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but are powerful through God. All right? For the destruction of fortresses. And then it tells us what the fortresses are. But before we read that, is this kititzul or kititse? Is this individual warfare inside? Or is this exterior warfare that keeps us from the kingdom?
I would say internal.
Tetzeh.
You say internal? What do you say?
Tetzeh.
Internal? What do you say?
Phyllis.
What do you say?
I'm sorry, we said, give me the question again.
It says that the weapons of our warfare are powerful through God. So is this kititse or kititsul? Is it interior warfare or exterior warfare?
Interior.
Interior, what do you say? I can't hear you.
I guess interior, I don't know.
Okay, so he says this.
So if you keep reading, I think it becomes clearer.
It does. He says, but powerful through God for the destruction of fortresses. What are those fortresses? Speculations and every lofty thing raised up against the da'at of God. All right, what is that? That's Hellenism. So is that kititzur or kititse? Is that exterior warfare or is that interior warfare? It's exterior, Hellenism. It's arguments. Well, you don't argue inside.
It's both if we have that thoughts in ourselves.
Yes, if we got that in ourselves. But that's not what it's talking about. It's talking about people who are raising up arguments against the da'at of God. And we fight that. But he says, that's warfare. He doesn't say it's captive,
Right.
does he?
Right, no.
Captive is interior. Warfare is exterior. God does the warfare.
Yeah, there's
So-
another passage where
No, hold on. He's going to get to it. Then he says, that's warfare. That's not interior. And then it's, right after that it says, and we are taking every thought
Oh, yeah.
captive
It says it right there, okay.
in the submission of Messiah.
Same thing.
That's kititse. So it has both warfares here. It has kititzul and it has kititse. The interior one, God fights. The exterior one, we fight.
Capture.
No, the interior one, God fights, and we take captive. The exterior one,
We fight.
we fight. We literally fight that stuff. And that's kititzul. So it does have both here. But people sure don't quote it like it's about doing something interior. Raised up against the knowledge of God, and we are taking every thought captive to make it submit to Messiah. That's interior. All right. I think that's it. But I think it is so amazing. This is a huge, huge concept in Judaism, and I think it's amazing that it comes from kititse. And all the rabbis translate it like this, that it's spiritual war, it's an inner warfare, and it comes right out of kititse. No changes, no twisting. And then by the time you come to the New Testament, I might be wrong, but I think that's what Shaul's talking about. He's talking about an inner warfare. And there's a lot of other passages that I won't bring up, but I think that's good enough. Yes?
What was it? The very last page that we were looking at, in the blue box, you put Mishnah Avot 3:1. I just quoted that
I know.
on Wednesday, and it said, where I got it from said Pirkei Avot 3:1.
Pirkei means sayings.
Yeah, sayings of the
So
Father.
usually, we don't write Pirkei Avot, we usually write Avot. It's the same thing. Pirkei Avot, sayings of the fathers, Avot, fathers.
And
That's all.
Mishnah Avot.
Mishnah, this is in the Mishnah.
Yeah, so
It's
you
a
could say-
tract.
So I could really say Mishnah Pirkei Avot,
Or Mishnah Avot,
or
yes.
just Mishnah Avot.
Mhm.
Got it.
Mishnah is where it is. Avot or Pirkei Avot is the tractate. All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, I just want to make this clear to myself.
Yes, ma'am.
We capture our midot after God fights, and that's interior within ourselves. And then us
Yes.
waging war on the outside is the exterior
Mm-hmm.
thing, because it's Hellenism.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything that keeps us from the kingdom, problems, demons, Hellenism, all that exterior stuff, that's warfare. I'm not going to say spiritual warfare anymore because it's not a biblical term. It's just warfare. That's all. But kitavo is interior warfare. Okay, let's pray. Abba, thank you that you give us our measure. You give us all of our measures in our attributes, in our midot, and you decide what to give us. It's all from you. Our desires are from you, and we have to capture them. And I ask that you'd help us to capture them by just learning how to be honest and learning how to tell the truth about what we want. We want that woman. We want that Gentile idol worshiper, and we want to take her and make her a captive and take her into our house. We want her. And I ask that you'd help us to learn how to be honest about that, learn how to take responsibility for our own motives, responsibility for our own actions, and responsibility for our own thoughts, and to take them captive. In the name of Yeshua, help us to do Cheshbon HaNefesh, because we are going to do Cheshbon HaNefesh before you. You're going to hold us to account. Thank you, Abba. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.